Hello, good afternoon. Pleasure to be here with you. My talk today is about marketpreneurs. The intersection, the convergence between marketing on one side and entrepreneurship. Now, we live in an era of radical innovation. But first of all, let's define who are the entrepreneurs? What is, this idea about entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs are clearly ideators, they are problem solvers, they are innovators, they are initiators, they are above all trendsetters, and of course trailblazer, and very important, they are value-added people that really try to add value with their creations. So clearly, also the new ecosystem that we have in the world, we are talking about an open economy. Open economy, which means new business models, which means clearly, an economy based on collaboration, based on co-creation, an economy that is really many times called the sharing economy. And these are really clear, important milestones that really pave the way for the thriving of minipreneurs, in this case marketpreneurs. So conversation economy, because they converse, and this is all part of what we call a better culture. What is a better culture? Well, a better culture is mainly based on three pillars. We're talking about a better culture in terms of make it yourself, and make your own products, and of course, through the huge amount of skills that you can download from this new ecosystem. You can download information communication technology, you can download even software, hardware. You can actually have monetizing assets. All these issues they actually can be get either free or very, very cheaply, which paved the way for, again, the development of the concept of minipreneurs and marketpreneurs. Now, also there is a culture of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is around lots of people that are willing to be prosumers. They like your idea, they are actually willing to invest money. So this minimizes the risk, and at the same time resells or pre-sells initially the product and tests the product, and very, very important, tests your business plan and your ideas. And also helps you to analyze market demand, and even provides insights how to improve the product in the future, and even to determine price points and the best pricing strategy. So clearly there is also the maker movement, a new industrial revolution that is appearing, for instance with other manufacturing at the personal level. We're talking about personal fabrication. Nowadays, technology like 3D printing, 4D, very soon 5D printing will allow people to create and to make their own products. And that is incredible, it's really a revolution. Innovation labs are really mushrooming throughout the world. Many, many innovation labs, a new approach in this collaboration economy. Fab Labs. Fab Labs, you go to any major city in the world, many countries, and they have these Fab Labs. That really mean fabrication labs, where people bring their ideas and they make their own products. Again, the idea behind that is make, share, and learn from each other, collaborate, etc. So Fab Labs are really small-scale manufacturing, very, very close to the markets as well, and that is an advantage, obviously, by itself. And clearly part of this, the maker movement, people are making their own products. And of course, can you imagine nowadays, with 3D printing, for instance, there are examples of people actually in 24 hours building a 3-room house for $4,000, which normally a human-built house would probably take between 13 days to 20 days and will cost much more. So incredible, this issue about technology at the service of personal fabrication. So clearly, all this you need as well to have the right generation, and we are living in a generation go. So generation grow is struggling. Well, they had dealt a bad deck of cards during the last 20 years because of difficult to find jobs. They finished their degrees, etc. But they are resilient. They are the karma economy. They want to go forward. They want to give back to society. And this generation go is very important. More than that, they are finding opportunities in this economic adversity. And there is also another type of generation related to them. It's called the flex generation. People that are willing to adapt. They really want changes, constant changes in the environment, but they have an incredible quality of being able to adapt and to have a degree of fit. And this issue about generation flex, a constant change, and they have the flexibility to make up the right adjustments to this constant change in our society. So clearly, openness to learning, they want to learn, lifelong learning, they want to collaborate, and of course they have a high degree of decisiveness. They want to make decisions, they want to go forward, etc. So clearly, interesting enough nowadays, there is a kind of a mentality. Who cares about the old companies? Who cares about old organizations? Nowadays, we are all startups. They are all startups, people that are actually thriving in this incredible changing environment by creating their own companies. So entrepreneurs are really the future. Society is transforming. And society needs this resilience coming from the generation go, coming from the generation flux, coming from this karma economy. And of course needs this new people and this new wave of marketpreneurs are really showing that we need to reconceptualize the economy. I'm not even talking about the pandemic situation now with COVID-19, which is really the world will change. Society will change completely. But the marketpreneurs will have a role to play, and I'll be talking about them at the very end of this talk. So, but more so than the millennials, more so the Generation X, we've got the highest level of entrepreneurial spirit coming from who? Coming from the Generation Z. People that were born in the year 2000. Incredible. More or less nowadays they are about 25.9, 26% of the population in the world. They are post-millennials, but they are technological savvy, knowledgeable, and they have the most entrepreneurial spirit, mindset of any generation ever. Now clearly they intend to change the world, and for instance, just to give you an idea, some studies, about 24% of these Generation Z currently they are part of some kind of volunteering work. They want to help society. They really want to be volunteers and use their skills. They want to learn as well. They want to do social listening. And this Generation Z is determined to make a difference in the world. And we want them to do so, to have an impact as well. So, social entrepreneurship coming from this Generation Z is one of the most popular career choices by these youngsters. And it's incredible because you have some studies, and I'm just going to give some stats now. For instance, comparing these young people, high school teenagers compared to university students, the majority of the people, high school students, they want to start a business as opposed to their university counterparts. More than that, the majority of these high school students, part of this teenage Generation Z, they want to become an entrepreneur. Again, higher percentage, about 20 points higher than university students. So the spirit of entrepreneurship, etc. So entrepreneurship is really in their DNA of this Generation Z. Interesting, and of course surrounded by do-it-yourself DIY education, surrounded by clearly, these crowdsourcing and the facilities of getting all these skills, resources, money, finances, etc. This teenagers really dream at self-employment and becoming entrepreneurs. They want to gain experience, a professional experience at the early stage. So the status quo clearly is ready to be changed. It's going to be altered and shaken by these marketpreneurs. And interesting enough, I mean, in other studies, for instance, this study I'm going to tell you now was done in the States by Northeastern University in Boston. And they found out, for instance, that 66% of the entrepreneurs claim they were inspired by innate desire to do something themselves, not by what they learn in school or what they learn in the university. This is interesting, you know. They claim actually not education, not training, but really this force, this strength, inside strength, innate desire to become an entrepreneur. So interesting, to be an entrepreneur, they try radically to move forward from what they've learned in terms of school, university. And that is something that you only can do for yourself if you are really a spirited entrepreneur. So more and more nowadays, you know, becoming very fashionable to talk about labs. Well, yes, we can talk about innovation labs, we can talk about Fab Labs, fabrication labs, but above all now we're talking about the bedroom lab, which means in their house, in their own bedroom, these teenagers, they can turn their bedroom into a world of possibilities. Of course it is expected that people will fail. It's okay to fail. It's expected to. But clearly, incredible drive by these entrepreneurs and marketpreneurs. And finally, because we have these incredible crises in the world, you know, that we were not expecting in the last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, that has been happening, this COVID-19, these pandemics, incredible surge, in terrible virus in our society, which actually change upside down the way we live, the way we think, the way we relate to people, the way we communicate it. So this entrepreneurial spirit, we need also to turn that into what I call missioners. People with a mission to help, to give back to society, to give back to the community. We need that help. So the missioners is very important. A mission-driven creative entrepreneur that really, society will never be the same, that can actually help us to rebuild, to reconstruct a completely different landscape in our human life. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed some of these insights. Bye-bye.